Breaking news! Taylor Stenhouse is a fucking pussy because he didn't watch the Snyder Cut.
He's dead, and I killed him.
So, welcome to the Kinocast, everyone. Today we got a cast of a total of 5 people, including me. We got 2 people in cat-made outfits, and we got 2 regular dudes, just vibing. First off, let's start with Joseph Guzman in his very hot jacket. Man's not hot though. Yeah, he's not hot. We got here a dude with a phone booth profile picture. Peyton Denissar. Available on Blu-ray. Yes, everyone watch phone booth. We got Nicholas Finch all in his cat-made suit. He is dehydrated as fuck. Please be careful.
We're watching Zack Snyder's Justice Week. Fuck off.
No! I'm fucking dead. Okay.
Oh, and we got Sabrina back from the dead.
Damn right.
We resurrected her with a mother box.
Yes, with
But
the
yeah, with the Allspark. Give me the cube, boy. But all right, today we're going to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. So yeah, it's finally out. It's in fucking 4x3. I've seen it 3 times this week. Twice with friends, one with my own. Not in a row. Not in a row.
I think you did in a row. It was
I watched it on Wednesday in a very legal way, you know.
Yes.
Then I watched it on Friday with friends, and then I watched it on Saturday with more friends.
Can I take a moment to say Rupert Murdoch can go fuck himself?
Yeah.
The only way to watch the Snyder Cut legally in Australia is through either Foxtel, which is ridiculously overpriced like cable, or Binge, which is Foxtel's streaming service, which would be good if it actually streams at a decent quality. I thought it was my internet, but everyone else is like, no, it's just that shit of a streaming website. And so every time you try and watch it, it will have like 1 frame of high definition, and then it will instantly cut to like 360p or something like that. And it's like I could count the pixels on the screen. Ooh. So I mean, if you want people to watch your stuff legally, you know, maybe have it so people can actually watch it instead of like watching the equivalent of like 2 pixels trying to fucking make a movie in the process, which is just not a good way to watch any movie. If I drank more standard drinks than the amount of pixels that were on the screen in the official streaming service of Justice League, and I drank a lot during that.
Yeah, I heard that you fucking passed out with a loaf of bread and you puked and you had the maid outfit on.
Don't know where you got the loaf of bread from.
I don't know. I saw someone read it.
People are just like, oh, there was a loaf of bread. There was like a stripper.
Stories were wild. There were speculations that
he killed a guy.
He killed a guy. He accidentally watched the movie twice.
What happened was this. Basically, for those of you who don't know, just before the Snyder Cut was announced, I commented on a thread about the Man of Steel watch-along Zack Snyder was doing. And I like Zack Snyder and I love Man of Steel, but I was not confident that they were going to make the Snyder Cut. So I commented something along the lines of that. And then I said, okay, I'll tell you what. If they announce the Snyder Cut here, I will personally hold a watch-along where I will drink every time I cringe at a scene. It got announced the next day. So that was on me. And then a year later, we're here. Jessica has expanded the bet to encourage me to also wear a cat-made outfit, which I did because the wonderful Jacob Croyle was able to gift me some money for it. And then, because I ended up loving the movie, I didn't end up drinking during every time I cringed. So I was like, okay, well, I need something else to get me drunk. I decided to drink some very strong mixed drinks
Nice.
every time I saw a scene that involved slow motion in it. Which,
Oh no.
I'll tell you one thing, don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
do
that's
it.
a
Straight up
good
don't.
idea.
If you're gonna do it with like a beer or something. Don't do it with like vodka mixed with orange juice.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
And so it's like 5 a.m. I've finished my final drink. I'm like thanking everyone for coming along, and I end the call. I'm like, oh, what a great day that was. I go and lie down. I'm like, you know, weirdly enough, I feel a little bit sick. And then,
Weirdly enough, I would have never have guessed or known.
shockingly, yeah.
Mhm.
So I ended up sort of buffing everywhere, which was not a great look, I'll tell you that. But it wasn't in the cat bed taking them off. It was gross, naked, and covered in bed sheets.
I really was waiting for you to come into the stream and like this entire like bib you have on just like puke stains, like you're a fucking baby. That'd be amazing. That would have been great.
We're not there in that stage. Cat made fetish. It's, you know,
All right.
I've seen people be into weirder shit. Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys.
But,
Let's
you know, it was a great time.
let's actually talk about the film.
Alright, so let me just
Should we
say
talk
this
about
right off the bat.
Should we talk about the backstory of the film first?
What,
Just to address what happened and
oh,
shit.
what happened? Oh, whatever happened there? I'll tell you what
Okay.
happened there. Joss Whedon killed my cousin unprovoked. Yeah.
So Taylor has been very adamant about that Zack Snyder had a huge influence of the theatrical version of the 2017 Justice League, which I really can't agree with. From my understanding, he left very early in 2017 due to the tragic loss of his daughter Autumn, and after that, the process of Justice League was very, very up to the studio. The reshoots with the studio, the edits were Whedon and the studio, and so Whedon maybe didn't add as much as I thought he did, but he definitely edited everything in a way that except for maybe one scene, I'm sure Zack Snyder wouldn't have edited. They let go of the musician, the composer Junkie XL. They hired Danny Elfman instead, which I don't think was a very good decision. I didn't like his score. And then they released it as this 2-hour movie that tried to condense everything from Zack Snyder's version while also adding kind of Joss Whedon's humor, which, for those of you who've seen the 2017 version, I'm not so sure worked. It was fine. It was like, it worked in that they just wanted kind of a safe movie, but it was like a box office failure and no one really liked it. So, you know, what does that tell you?
It's a superhero movie.
Yeah, true.
That's what
true.
it's.
Martin Scorsese would have been like, yeah, it's the same as all the other Marvel
This
movies.
is the Irishman of comic book movies.
That quote's going
Yeah,
in the box.
That's the
That's fair.
little review from IGN. The Irishman of comic book movies.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is.
You know, that's actually a pretty fair assessment.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty apt comparison. If you're gonna compare a superhero movie to a Martin Scorsese movie, the Snyder Cut and the Irishman is probably
It's
the best
unnecessarily long. It's got terrible CGI. I mean, it's got a bunch of Italians beating each other. It's amazing. This is exactly. It's exactly.
But
the
still
Irishman.
kind of good.
It's still
I'm
kind
still with
of.
them
You
again.
know what? Honestly, I'm pissed off. That everyone. But first of all, I just want to let everyone know that this is the first DCEU movie I've ever seen in my life.
Seriously?
Ever.
My
Ever.
condolences.
Ever. Because I was just like, alright, it's a meme. I want to know if it's terrible. I want to know. And the movie did not turn out to be that terrible. And it pissed me off. Because I was really expecting it to be utter shit. And now everyone's all like, oh, the Whedon cut is fucking terrible, this and that. Now I want to watch that one. Because then I would have been like, this is fun. The entire time watching this movie, I was like, when is the cringe? Well, there was a lot of cringe in the movie. There was a lot of cringe in the movie. Especially the fucking bank scene. Like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, you mean with Wonder Woman fucking Spy Kid music?
Yeah.
Some kind of weird anarcho event or some shit like that. It
Yeah.
was some stupid thing that was in
From-
the 2017 and the Zack Snyder cut of the film. Either way, it was the one where the Zack Snyder version, the weird Wonder Woman theme is mixed in with the real Wonder Woman theme. It's just whatever that anarcho.
It was so unnecessary. It was just like,
Yeah.
I don't care. You have 2 movies already. Just fucking get on with the goddamn. Just go. Just go. Just
Yeah,
go.
go.
It was so annoying. It was like, bro, I don't care. And then she goes up to the girl. And she's all like, I want to be like you. And it has like this little fucking girl boss moment. Like, shut up. That girl is traumatized. She's never
I
gonna
like-
be like you.
Okay, guys.
No.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman fucking straight up murders a terrorist and then tells a girl
couple.
you can be whoever you want to be. That I think that's inspiring, honestly.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the
it's not
version
like
of-
just
that's the
kill
version of Wonder Woman.
anyone.
Yeah, you can kill any asshole who stands in your way. People on Twitter are always like, "Oh yeah, punch a Nazi, fucking kill them all." I mean, that's what you want. And suddenly Wonder Woman does just that. They're like, what kind of message does that send? It sends a message of being fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, oh my god. I mean, I mean, it's like a cool little girl boss moment. That's fine. But like some of the things that like Wonder Woman was saying were like just bad in
She
general.
blows
Like,
up the
shut
whole
fuck
fucking
up.
building afterwards.
Yeah,
She did more damage than a terrorist.
The bomb is only 4 blocks, which is not that much, honestly, for a bomb.
It didn't even look like 4 blocks. It was
And it's
supposed to
gonna
be 4
set
blocks,
back-
but it wasn't.
It's gonna set back fucking wherever the fuck they are for thousands of years. That tiny
You heard-
suitcase
We're,
bomb.
we're
get the fuck
gonna
outta
ride
here.
with
You heard it here
horses and
first, guys.
carrot.
Sabrina is fine with blowing up 4 London.
That's 5. Yeah, 4 blocks is not a lot. 5 blocks pushing it. I don't know about all that, but like 4.
Kara would go for
And then
6 if it was in England.
she fucking throws the suitcase into the air and it explodes, and then she destroys the building anyway. Fucking idiot, women, man.
He
Come
destroys
on.
the building with somebody's human body.
Yeah, with somebody's dude. Okay, the kill count of this fucking movie is pretty good. I will say that. I know it's a little segue. The kill count in this movie is fucking wild because when it goes to the Wonder Woman shit and then it goes to the fucking Aquaman shit, and then fucking the fucking Hammerhead guy that has ripped some dude apart, like literally like half. Like what the fuck was that about? That was awesome.
That
Some of the
moment,
shit-
that moment where Mara drains the blood out of Steppenwolf, that was awesome.
Yeah,
That
what
was
the
a great
fuck?
moment.
That was great.
Just
on
not.
YouTube, there was a scene, like they uploaded that scene and someone titled it, Mira tries to suck Steppenwolf dry.
There should have been more of that throughout the entire movie instead of like the stupid, mindless fucking talking that literally just like I could just drone it out and I would still get the rest of the movie. It's exactly like when people told you.
Well,
to watch
I
all
wouldn't
the
say
other-
it's mindless talking because there's some
It is,
like it isn't. There's some good scenes that give you an explanation, but like there's not a lot of them, but there's some of them.
If you
What?
watch the
Explanation
original
of what?
cut, the original cut is mindless fucking talking the movie.
Exactly.
It's like them sat around a table doing fucking spit takes with each other while like people are out there being murdered.
Really?
Basically, yeah,
There's-
the executives at WB, they just told Josh, hey, try to emulate the last Avengers movie you made and make it like the audience will actually like it. Then it didn't work, it backfired, and then box office bombed.
Okay, well I guess it's an improvement that I am not aware of. So
Well, I mean, not to shit
We
on
have
the
someone who
experience
hasn't
we
seen it
had,
yet.
but like we were talking a lot during our stream.
no, okay, wait, hold on. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, so yes, Ruben and I watched it together. But here's the thing, is that I lowered you guys like to the point where I put up because I was watching it on my TV and I had you guys on Discord. So I lowered you guys on Discord so I could listen to the dialogue, and I was like, all right, I don't give a shit. And then I literally just do not care. Just get to the fucking point. Also, the fact that like multiple times they could have just gotten together and fucking okay, I'm going all over the place. I was gonna say the fucking Martian dude shows up at the end. Where the fuck was he for the entire fucking
Yeah,
movie?
no, we could all agree that Martian Manhunter is he shouldn't be in this movie at
Let's-
all, or he should be more useful.
Let's have
Let's
have something of a
that are not gonna happen.
let's have a little bit of structure here. We can talk about
Yeah.
Manhunter a little bit later. So we started.
Well, I think we already spoke enough about Martian Manhunter because it's like in it for 2 seconds and we talked about
Yeah.
it for more than 2
Yeah,
Alright, so it's
seconds.
the bank robbery and then it's the Aquaman shit.
Oh, the Aquaman shit was first. Okay, so the
Oh, wait,
Aquaman shit. this is before we continue. Since we talked a little about the Whedon cut, we might as well continue talking about that because there's similar stuff in the Aquaman scene where when you watch the Just Whedon version, it starts in the middle of that scene. You know, before any of that is already set up. And you realize how much like little shit was changed. Like in the Zack Snyder version, it's quite a dramatic moment where Bruce reveals, "Oh no, I know exactly who you are, Aquaman. This is you're exactly why I'm here." Whereas in the Whedon version, it's not a really dramatic reveal, and he kind of instead of like not necessarily threatening Aquaman, but kind of being very serious and dramatic with him, he's like. He does this weird cocky smirk and is like, "Can you at least point me into Atlantis?" And this is what gets like Aquaman riled up for some reason. And yeah, and they also I hear you can talk to fish. And then there's a moment where he gets into the pool where like they added a scene where Bruce Wayne is like, "No, that isn't the saying. That's the opposite of what the saying is." And some of these lines are okay, but it's weird that they spent so much money reshooting it when the original content was, I mean, IMO 5.
Yeah, it's also weird because there's inconsistency in those reshoots because I think the reshoots had 4 rows of tattoos on Aquaman's chest, and in the regular version there's 3 rows of tattoos.
Ben Affleck in each of the shots, and it becomes like a really noticeable game while watching the film. It's like, oh, this is reshoot Affleck. Oh, this is the original footage. Affleck.
Yeah, his hairline changes too.
It's so distracting once you finally notice.
Beyond that, the scene itself I think is good, except there's a moment where he gets into the water, Bruce Wayne leaves, and he just lingers on these townsfolk where they just start singing, and one of them sings Aquaman's
Yeah, what the fuck?
I was like, am I watching Midsummer? What's going on?
Yeah, dude, I was about to say. Dude, it was so weird. It's all like, yo, what is this guy's deal with bitches' throat singing? Like, he's trying to get a fucking neck out here? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Also, they're huffing his fucking shirt smell.
Yeah, she takes the sweater, she's like, imagine
In fairness, I would also huff Momoa's shirt. I was thinking to myself, what would I do if I lived in that town? Would I huff Jason Momoa's shirt and throat sing? Yes. So, you know, it's like understandable. But also like my friend and I had an entire conversation and it ended and that scene was still going.
Yeah.
So, you know, what does that tell you?
Yeah, that thing was turned on far too long.
Yeah.
It's just like, alright, we get it.
Okay, so then we get to the Amazons with Steppenwolf arriving. I thought Steppenwolf overall was fucking awesome in this movie.
I think he's cool to look at.
Yeah, to be fair, there should have been some scenes going back to the Amazons. I think a lot of that fight scene could have been cut.
Yes.
That's that, honestly. I think giving Hippolyta an actual presence in the story. One, made sure that there was like another woman aside from like the 2 that you know are like regularly around in Justice League, but also like I think it gave Wonder Woman's whole story a little bit more weight because those are all, you know, her sisters and stuff like that, and it was cool to see that like Hippolyta, like it was such a big deal that she had to like close off some of her sisters into that chamber just to get the mother box away from Steppenwolf, who I thought
he died.
Yeah,
or all of them died.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm used to my 3.5 hour long movies not containing women, like Lawrence of Arabia.
You heard it here first. Zack Snyder's Justice League is one step up from Lawrence of Arabia because it includes 3 women instead of 0.
Yeah. I'm glad. That movie, that part was cool. And it didn't make any sense. I don't understand. These motherfuckers had like arrows and shit, and you see them flying, and they're not even moving as they're. It's like you're standing in place and you're shooting. That doesn't. Against the locust from fucking Gears of War, you really think that a bow and arrow is gonna be fine with like fucking shut the fuck up. This fucking shit was crazy. Also, favorite part of the fucking movie is when she. And I said this before. Is that when that bitch runs out, whatever her fucking name is, she runs out of the thing. She runs out of the temple thing, and she's in slow-mo, but everything else around her is at regular speed.
Yes, as in the rocks falling down is in the regular speed.
That is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And as the thing is also crumbling down, you see her little CGI body also still in slow-mo, but again, everything is happening in real time. That was great. I love inconsistency like that. That's funny. That's funny. I think
did not
honestly,
notice that, honestly.
Zack Snyder, this is the best comedy he's ever made.
You liked him. It's just...
To be fair, there's
funny
so much.
movie.
Yeah, to be fair, there's so much more comedy than a regular Zack Snyder film.
Yeah.
This is true, but I guess see, I would argue Sucker Punch if we're talking about unintentional comedy, because that movie's a mess. That
Alive.
All right.
oh, it's horrible. Like, genuinely so bad.
I've heard. Oh, dude, you keep saying, dude, stop saying they're horrible because now I want to watch it.
Good.
Horrible
We'll do like
movies
a
make me
watch
feel
party.
So much better. We should.
Zack Snyder watch party. We watch Watchmen, and we have a
Joss
group.
Whedon's Justice League.
We have a group masturbation session when that sex scene comes along from Watchmen.
Yeah, my favorite
Yes, you
section
do.
of the
Away from me.
Amazonian part was when they're escaping with the mother box on horse, and it cuts to a close-up shot of someone riding a horse that's very clearly someone's face, and then green screen, and they're
Yeah.
on like a 25-cent
Yep.
pony ride going up and down.
Horses are not great in
How
this
is
movie.
this fucking cube way? Because I remember I was watching it again. I was watching it with Ruben and my boyfriend and all his friends on Discord, and my boy brought up a good point that like the box is kind of heavy, yeah, but like the arrow is fine to go completely straight. Is that a thing? Did they explain
it's
that?
a magic arrow. It's a magic arrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got the magic arrows from Inuyasha.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that.
Okay.
Look at us solving Zack Snyder's Justice League like that.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this is pretty.
No,
heavy.
but-
yeah, and the
but
horses
really-
don't get fucking. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Some of
But
those
I
horses
really
get
liked.
bodied.
I really liked. We got a bit more later as well, but I really enjoyed how Steppenwolf was portrayed here. I think I liked that he was kind of, I wouldn't say sympathetic, but he had an interesting story in that he was this disgraced warrior looking for redemption in the eyes of this figure who is so terrifying in the eyes of everyone else. And yet he is also such this berserker of a villain who can just he yeets a horse. Like that was so cool.
Yeah.
Just watching him pick up a horse and just toss it.
Chopping him
Shit,
people in
no.
half is like awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Like that's
Yeah, he
awesome.
definitely
And yet
carried
he
his
takes-
dog more than
Yeah, and then he takes off his helmet and suddenly he's got these huge puppy dog eyes. And you're like, oh shit.
He looks like he's crying every single scene.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
He
Put
just
him in
looks
a
like he's
Catman
tearing
outfit.
up.
Wake
Yeah,
up,
put him
Steppy! It's time to conquer 50,000 worlds.
Wakey, wakey.
He's like groveling on the floor.
Yeah.
My
Which-
master, forgive
Yeah.
me.
Which really, I mean, it also does well at kind of hyping up Darkseid, which I guess leads us to the next big scene, which is the flashback scene of with Darkseid and the Age of Heroes.
No, I think we're still missing stuff.
we are, but there's a lot. If we go scene,
I
by
watched
scene,
this film 3 times and I still don't know how this whole thing plays out.
but we are missing a couple of
There's a
things,
lot.
but nothing major. Because if we go scene by scene, I think we'll just be. But Wonder Woman-
Just to be quick. There's some more throat singing. There's an arrow flying in the sky. Wonder Woman knows there's an invasion. And also, she knows the story of Darkseid by watching at those paintings, but like that story is then like explained twice to us in this film. She kind of could have cut that part out, to be honest.
She
Yeah,
also should
but-
probably know it since it's her like history and culture, and she's a princess of that culture.
Yeah, exactly.
It was that was a bit odd, but I liked the flashback that it led to, which
Oh yeah, the
was a mix
flashback is
of-
awesome.
Yeah, so that was a mix of Zack Snyder's stuff, obviously, but also apparently the animators at
300.
Weta Digital were actually given a lot of stuff to work with. Like they were allowed to take some creative liberties, and so the way they portrayed Darkseid in his fight against the people of Earth was really, really cool sequence. Which I mean, did remind me of Sauron versus the people of Middle Earth in the Fellowship of the Ring.
You heard it, guys. I was not making the Lord of the Rings comparison. Nicholas was.
Yes, well, I mean, I think this one's kind of apt because it is kind of the same thing. Because like Darkseid or Uxas in that phase is this big villain obviously is controlling this huge army, but he's not as strong and powerful as he will later be. And this, he's able to take on the people of Earth, but the gods like Zeus and Ares are able to hold him back. And it results in a bunch of cool little stuff, like when he kills a Green Lantern, and the Green Lantern ring like floats up, and like Darkseid looks at it for a moment,
Yeah.
and he reaches for it, and for like a split second, you're like, shit.
First of
what if
all,
he gets
that
a Green
guy,
Lantern
that
ring?
Green Lantern guy should be fired. He got fucking
Yeah.
bodied by 2 fucking regular schmegular dudes, like NPCs, and he fucking falls. Get this guy out of here. Does he deserve to be a fucking Lantern? Get him out of here. That's why he died.
So he doesn't get the rank anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't
I
have
loved
no one cares.
Ares just having played the game in that scene. Just
Right?
him chopping that axe into Darkseid. Like, it's not even a little bit. It's just like it's in there. You see that happen in the theatrical cut too, but it's not that awesome because you see it happen very quick, and there's no blood, of course, and it's not Darkseid. It's Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
CGI shitty Steppenwolf.
But it's not. Yeah, so Steppenwolf looks completely different in the Joss Whedon version of Justice League.
Yeah.
I've heard, yeah.
He
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
a really badly humanoid figure, which and then in comparison to like the Snyder version of Justice League, he definitely looks like an alien, and he looks very, very intimidating and cool looking. Like the way the knives, the effects going around him through these emotions, really nice touch from the animators.
How
It's a little
long
too
is the
big.
Whedon cut?
It's
How
li-
long is the Whedon cut?
2 hours.
Exactly 2 hours.
They cut out a lot of material from what Snyder originally shot for some stupid filler nonsense. Like for example, with Lois Lane and Martha in the newsroom, it's some really stupid comedy bit that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of the movie itself.
I can't believe there's more footage of this movie. Like they shot so much for this movie. Like can't believe
They
that's
did.
crazy. And then they reshot some. Damn, bro, can you?
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
go as far
and
as
how
to
they
say
re-
they shot too much.
Were really damage control mode.
Yeah.
That's damn. I do appreciate.
And yeah.
Okay, I will say this. I do appreciate that they gave Snyder a chance to fulfill his vision. They did his thing. They wanted him to do it. They gave him the money to do it. Hey man, we know your fucking daughter died. That sucks. Here's some money. Do the film that you
Well,
want.
but then again, they were like,
That's
damn, bro, it sucks that your daughter died. Let's reshoot this film.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought he wanted the
We're rooting
reshoots.
for Autumn. Let's get Weekend
studio-
Mansion at the film.
The
So to-
studio was like, "Yo, you gotta
So
make
this-
this movie again."
No, so the studio did the reshoots for the Joss Whedon version, and then that obviously tanked. And then sort of people have been pushing to release the Snyder Cut for a while. 2020 happened, and at that moment, Zack Snyder was like, "Well, no one's doing anything for like a year. Let me go to the studio and let me see what they think about us like just editing and adding VFX to what we already have, and then maybe reshooting like one scene." And so the studio's like, fine, okay. And so then they gave Zack Snyder like 70 million, which is a lot of money, to be fair.
That's a lot of fucking
Um,
money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
finish
to-
up the effects, and then as Nicholas said, like 2 or 3 additional new scenes that were not like originally a part of his original version plans with the Justice League movies.
And then
In-
that was So Zack Snyder was able to make the movie and tribute it to his daughter, which was really sweet.
Yeah.
But it definitely, the studio definitely took a lot of convincing. So this is a big deal. It's like I guess the most expensive director's cut known to man, really.
Really? That's interesting. I
I
didn't know
mean,
that.
70 million. Like who else would spend 70
Yeah.
million on just a directed cut? You know?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. So
Well-
now we finished the Darkseid flashback. I guess
Yeah.
now's a good time to go to Cyborg and Flash.
Yeah, so next up is actually the scene in Central City, also known as Part 3. I feel like I'm the only one that likes that scene. I do gotta say that him stroking Iris's hair is kind of creepy though.
Oh, we're talking about the Flash.
Yeah, it's extremely
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, that guy sucks. That guy sucks. I'm sorry, Ruben. I know you like Ezra Miller, but he is just not good in this role at all. Like he really isn't. Like I feel like they were like, all right, play this neurotic Woody Allen type character up all the way.
Yeah, and he did it.
And And then he
that's
did it.
that's
and then
good
it's
acting.
cringe. No, but it's not. No, it's not. That's not acting. Anyone
It
could,
is Sabrina.
anyone could be a little bit neurotic or something like that. Anyone could do that. But I'm saying like at least make the guy likable. But I think that amounts to the
He
writing.
is
of the movie.
likable.
Also,
God damn it.
I do not find him likable at all in this movie. He's like so annoying.
I'm sort of in the middle ground between you two. I think he's likable, but he does not read as a actual human being. He reads very much so like a character whenever he's on screen.
Yeah, hit the mark,
Yeah.
say the line. That's what he does.
Yeah, I'm very mixed when it came to Ezra Miller's portrayal of Barry Allen. Like, it's much worse in the 2017 release of Justice League. At least here in the Snyder version of Justice League, he's still not a huge improvement, but definitely a lot more to do for the character. And I kind of like him a little bit more and be tolerable with this iteration of the character with this version of Justice League.
He's all right.
It is kind of odd how
a
they.
better guy.
It is kind of odd how they left out that whole car scene from the Whedon cut, and then instead they added brunch and they added a Russian family.
Yeah, he's a lot more insufferable in the 2017 release of Justice League.
I will say though that there is a point to be made in that, like, yes, sure, we can compare it to the 2017 version a lot, but it is, I mean, this movie is essentially a different movie. They've added, like, a whole extra movie and replaced a lot of the original 2-hour footage.
Entirely.
And so I think any fault, really, like, it's not about necessarily being better than the 2017 version. It's about Zack Snyder doing what he originally wanted to do. And in this version, Barry Allen isn't the best. I think he's likable enough, and I think he's got some really good moments, especially near the end. I don't know if he's how I would make the Flash, because I mean Barry Allen generally isn't portrayed as he is in this depiction of Justice League. But Barry Allen is like white bread, so who cares, you know?
Yeah,
I think they just probably wanted to have some sort of comic relief in the league, so they were like, all right, we're just gonna do Flash because Cyborg is emotionless this entire fucking movie.
Yeah, he's
pretty sad.
Member of the team.
It's sad what happens to him, but this motherfucker can't move his face for shit. He's just like,
He's a robot.
nobody's human though. Like
But he's a
like
robot, though, also.
he's a robot.
Oh,
Though.
my life is ruined. Let me fucking smile, huh? That's a great idea.
No, not even that. But like, just be like angry. Do like a little scowl. Be like, do a little fucking frown.
Scowl. He had a great scowl in like the beginning. When he's talking to his dad, whenever he talks to his dad, he's got the biggest resting bitch face of all time.
This
Ray
guy
Fish, I
is
really
a
like
resting
Ray
bitch
Fish.
face.
The only thing I didn't like was the line of him saying, "If you were there, Mom would still be alive." That's like a dickish thing to say.
I mean, it feels like that when your dad doesn't come to one of your performances or games. It does feel like, yeah, if you were there, my family would probably still be together. I mean, you know, what do you want?
Yeah,
so I don't know. I really like Ray Fisher and Cyborg in this movie.
I like him too. I like him too.
This was really good.
No.
I like the
I don't
scene
know.
where he's figuring out what abilities he has. You know.
Yeah, and also like he thinks that money isn't real, and he just gives a bunch of money to someone who's clearly in need. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, Cyborg would do that.
And there's also
it was
people. There's people saying like, why would you give so much power to your kid? But it's like he's made from a mother box. You think a mother box would
That wasn't
stop?
deliberate.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't deliberate. Like the mother box. A mother box just does that shit. I don't think Silas was like, yeah, I gotta make sure my son controls the stop. You know, like.
But he did. He did make sure to leave his son a voice recording of him going, "We are all at your mercy, Vic."
In his
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, when you're a dad and you want to cheer up your son,
As you would know.
Just let him know that we're all at your mercy.
yeah. I mean, like, not the best way, but he's clearly not the best dad. So.
Nick
He
one day
is also
gonna say,
Terminator
"Son,
2."
We are all at your mercy. Put on the cat ears.
His father is also in Terminator 2 and in Smallville, and in both roles he plays a scientist.
He's good
He's
at
a
playing
smart
science.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy.
Except in his death scene, which wasn't very smart, but you know, whatever.
Oh, yeah, he dies. I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, at least he has a death scene here. He's still alive at the end of 2017 Justice League, I think. But
He is.
Yes, he's alive.
there's no like emotional connection or something.
Yeah.
The Flash and Cyborg were basically absent from the original version. They were like.
I feel like they
only
were absent
there.
in this one, TBH.
I feel more so about that with Batman this version. 'Cause I
Really?
feel like there's a lot
Oh,
less
yeah.
Batman this version.
Yeah.
Like in his suit doesn't show up till halfway through the movie, which I think is a great call because it gives the other characters a chance to shine. And then it's this big, nice, dramatic moment where Gordon looks up and then Batman in his new suit jumps down from a gargoyle. I thought that was really good.
It's not like in the 2017 version where he's at the start of the film he's hunting down parademons for some reason, and he leaves this robber up on the rooftop.
And then the robber has this.
That was weird.
Of
Yeah.
Superman's death.
It's because they know he's dead,
"No,
right?
he's gone, right?" And then he just leaves the guy in the fucking.
Yeah, he leaves the robber
Okay.
with the money or whatever he stole.
Some bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow.
In any case, some other stuff happens, and then Steppenwolf gets to a point where he's attacking Atlantis. I mean, there's more shit.
He goes all out. He's chopping people in half. He's getting dried up by Amber Heard.
Yeah.
R rating during this section.
And then obviously Jason Momoa comes in at that point. The Aquaman stuff is interesting. It's clearly just sort of set up for the Aquaman movie.
Even though it doesn't line
and
up
it's
with the
awkward.
film at all.
But okay, no, explain this. Explain why it doesn't line up, because I genuinely don't.
Well,
get
in this
why.
film, he's like Icelandic based, and you don't see it in Aquaman at all. Atlantis looks very different and shit. There's differences in costumes, obviously. And in Aquaman the movie, Aquaman meets Mera for the first time in the Aquaman movie, but that's not true because he met her in Justice League. And Aquaman is supposed to take place after, you know.
Rewatch it, to me, it implied that they weren't meeting for the first time. They were just having like a conversation for the first time, like a proper one. I'll have to rewatch that movie, but I feel like it doesn't. To me, aesthetically, you're absolutely right, and the tone of Justice League's Aquaman versus Aquaman's Aquaman is drastically different. But I feel like it's not too egregious between the two. Like I feel like I could.
There's
watch
also
Aquaman and be like, yeah, sequel.
the place where he goes to his father's trident. That's in Aquaman. That's supposed to be guarded by a giant octopus, and it's supposed to be unfindable.
No.
It's supposed to be the trench.
Okay, so no, because that's not his father's. That's not his father's area. That's
Oh no! Wait, no,
Human's
yeah,
trident.
yeah. Sorry, that's not his father's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but still, the area where it's located, it doesn't make sense.
No, but I'm pretty sure he's looking at his no, hang on. I thought it was just I don't think it was supposed to be that same guy. I think it was just supposed to be like another dead king with a trident.
No, it's.
honestly.
I'm pretty sure it's his.
I mean, it just seems to me that they just leave dead bodies all around under the ocean.
Nah, I think
Actually,
Volko.
there's-
I think Volko even says something about it that it's related to him. That statue where he goes to.
Maybe, yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. In any case, I didn't find it too egregious, but you're right. Like, if you go into Aquaman after this, it's like definitely a weird jump.
Volko, by the
so
way,
it's awkward.
is played by Willem Dafoe. Is a fucking awesome haircut here.
Crazy that Willem Dafoe's in this movie. Yo, get the bag. There's two
Yeah.
crazy people in this movie. I was like, what the fuck? Because I've never seen any of these movies anyway. There's Willem Dafoe, I
Actors
was like,
in
"Whoa!"
other
J.K.
movies.
I was like, J.K.
Yeah.
Simmons is in this? What the fuck?
Sabrina,
both of them are barely in the
people
movie.
are in other
That's great.
movies.
No, it's fine. Listen, they showed up, they hit their mark, they said their line, they got the check, and they got out, and that's all I.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was literally
And-
like line or J.K. Simmons had 2 scenes, and then his only other speaking part they cut. It like just completely. You can
Correct.
see him looking over the big hole in Gotham Harbor, and he says something there in the original, and they just put other people's voices over it this time around.
No,
Yeah.
that's upsetting.
Cut out one of J.K. Simmons' scenes in this movie. Like, of all, like, I thought you were going to include everything, and yet J.K. Simmons, like, isn't in this movie as much.
Rip.
In fact, for the exact amount of time as the 2017 release.
Well, they had to cut off J.K. Simmons so they could put more fucking slow mo, because they actually lowered the slow mo by like 20%, so that they were like, we need to put more slow mo.
man, it looks cool.
I'm not gonna defend the slow-mo, it got me fucking wasted, so it's all good. Like, I get your point. And so, then like, Aquaman's like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll maybe help. Then some more shit happens, we're just starting to skip over everything. I guess now we can talk about Martian Manhunter, because there's this scene
now we're
where...
at the end of the movie. That's it. That's the end of the movie.
Well, that's the thing. There's a moment where Martha and Lois are talking, and I feel Lois is a non-character in this movie. She's just like, she does nothing.
She could have been reduced to a cameo, because there's like a scene, a transition of her. It's literally her just opening a box, holding Superman's clothes, and being sad for 30 seconds, and that's it.
Jesus Christ, I have a higher opinion of the best journalist in all of the DC universe. Like,
surprise winner journalist.
She is only there just so that when Superman has that like crazy moment where he's evil for whatever fucking reason, she just shows up and is all like, "Remember the pussy." He's like, "Oh,
remember who you are."
Oh yeah, remember who you are. Yeah.
2017 release, but at least with the Zack Snyder cut, at least it's not as egregious as like, well, Batman hired her as a contingency plan so that when Superman gets crazy, that's when he can get Lois to like calm him down. At least with Lois, he was like in this runt that Martian Manhunter basically convinced her to go back to living life. So she goes back doing the job, and then like at the same time, the League, brings back Superman back from the dead, and she's, in the same area as it was. And then when Superman goes evil and crazy in the Zack Snyder version of Justice League, then it's not that much contrived compared to the 2017 release, where then she calms, Superman down.
Okay, so I get your point, but I do. It being a complete coincidence that Lois is there, I think is a bit frustrating.
Yeah,
but also like
in 2017, it kind of made more sense.
He goes there every day.
Yeah, it shows at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Giving the coffee to the cops.
In 2017,
Yeah.
she's being
But
brought
also,
in by
like,
Batman. Which
Yeah.
also
So-
ties in with Batman vs Superman and Flash being sent back in time. Like, Lois is the key, Which it kind of does make sense, but also doesn't, because like, I don't know. It's passable.
In any case, what ends up happening here is Martian Manhunter is actually Martha in this scene.
Martha
I don't know.
Manhunter.
I think it's dumb. I
It
like
is
Martian
dumb.
Manhunter. And I don't think his performance was bad. But I was like, you didn't need to add that. He could have just not been in the movie. You could have saved him for the next one.
Martha Manhunter.
Martha Manhunter.
Martha's moment with Lois, because then once it's revealed that it's Martian Manhunter and not like Martha talking to Lois about getting back to life itself, that's when it starts to like dilute the message itself, just for a cool, oh my god, guys, it's Martian Manhunter.
It makes Martha seem like she doesn't care at all for Lois.
A better candidate for is secretly Martian Manhunter would have been the cop that Lois takes coffee to. Like, have him, like, have his skin turn green for a split second when Superman's about to laser Batman's face off, and you're like, oh, like, I know it's you. And
That would be cool, because then it explains why she's getting
Screw
the
like
coffee all the
he
fucking
spotted.
time.
The main problem is that Zack Snyder wanted it to be General Swanwick from the previous two movies, which I don't think works, honestly. But,
Yeah,
fine,
in
whatever.
Man of Steel, he was kind of written as this dude, like, I don't give a fuck. That drone costed fucking millions of dollars.
Yeah. So, and then from there, I think the next big scene that we can talk about is when Silas Stone gets kidnapped. So they all have to go and find, rescue him in like Strikers Island or something like that.
Yeah, Strikers
a little
Island.
bit off the coast.
Some remote island
Yeah.
far away from like the cities.
Yeah. So that battle scene happens. I thought that was one of my favorite action scenes in the movie. Where like, and I know we joke about the lamentations when Wonder Woman is on screen, where everyone's like caroling and stuff like that. But that moment where there's like a Western standoff between Steppenwolf and Wonder Woman.
Yes,
And
we're
he
like,
reaches for his axe and then she launches
Yeah.
him through the wall. That was so cool.
yeah. I also there's a moment where they all jump out of the tank and you see everyone's fat ass. There's like a scene. There's like Junkie XL's music starts playing and it's like this guitar riff, which is awesome.
Whoever
think
that
a junkie-
CGI is.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that Cyborg is double cheeked up in this movie. Like, it is ridiculous.
You're right. He's crazy. It's like I don't like the mother box is like, well, if we're gonna bring him back, we gotta make sure he's got that like
A fat
angular
ass.
90
Fucking
degree
dump
shape.
truck ass.
What?
Literal dump truck.
Hell.
It was crazy how both Cyborg and Batman had the best butts in this movie.
Interesting.
I think Junkie XL's score though. I think now's a good time to mention that.
It's kind of disappointing.
It's I listened to all of it. Definitely not as good as I was hoping. However, I do think it was implemented well in the movie. I think
There,
in the movie,
Listen.
the good parts of the score were really prominent.
the good parts of the score kinda are redos of the older scores.
Yeah. Like
Most
they
of it.
reprisals of them.
But there's a couple that weren't, like the Flash's stuff in the climax, and also
Oh
just,
yeah,
like,
I actually
The-
like both Junkie XL's score for the Flash and Danny Elfman's score for the Flash. I think they both work fine in the movies that were used.
yeah. So I agree that the score can be a bit disappointing, but I do think the editing of the score is done really fucking well.
It is
like
done
it
well.
feels like
Oh, now that we're speaking about sound real quick, just all that shit, why the fuck was Steppenwolf's goddamn voice louder than everything else in this goddamn movie? It was like, I know Nolan...
Listen,
I know
it's produced by Nolan,
fucking-
yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I know this produced by Nolan, but Jesus Christ, yo, you got like all this money, at least fix the fucking audio. That shit was annoying.
Well, they got a lot of money for Tenet, and they didn't fix the audio.
That's
I liked I don't know. It felt like when Steppenwolf talked, like the whole room kind of had to stop and listen. I
Yeah.
really liked it.
it's
Especially like
cool.
yeah.
But, like,
I think one of my favorite Steppenwolf moments is here where he's like, hold, this one shall be mine, and then like Wonder Woman is like, I belong to no one, and she fucking
That's
and
the
they just like,
stupidest line. That is the
I like
stupidest
it.
line. Because that
Cool.
doesn't make any sense. Because he's not saying it in a possessive way. He's saying, "Oh, this one, I'm gonna fight this one." She's like, "I belong to no one." No, he's saying that you're fucking gonna be beat by this guy, not that he was.
She gets it. I think
objectifying
she's
you
just
and
like-
possessing you. I don't
It's
know.
just Gal Gadot that she
I
can't
hated
act.
that line. I hated that line. So, she also cannot act. You're right.
no, she can't. I agree.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no,
I can't believe that's still in the movie.
that's
No,
funny.
talking about shots that I can't believe that are still in the movie. Talking about the blue screen. Well, not the blue screen, but the blue effect where Superman's like.
I
That was
hate
He's
weird.
got that
so
Seymour
much.
pathetic face to him.
Yeah. But I think I don't know. I like that moment. I just thought it was really cool because it led into a great action scene, and then that
Oh, the
obviously
action,
leads
that was
to yeah, and then it leads into the water from Gotham Harbor coming in to just flood the island, and then Aquaman comes in clutch.
I like when Wonder Woman sees Aquaman in the water instead of like the water flowing, Aquaman like jumping out in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
Yeah.
difference
Although
from
it's
the
weird that they-
his entrance.
yeah. It's weird that they like stare for so long though. Like the
Yeah.
characters are just looking at Aquaman for a while. It's like, dude,
Well,
get out
staring.
of there.
Holy fuck, that's
Yeah.
Jason Momoa in the water.
Okay,
the
actually,
fuck?
you know what? Yeah.
Jason
If I
Momoa's
said
in the
this
water
way-
and we don't know why.
Yeah. And so okay, so then we get to obviously the league is finally all together and they're like, shit. Well, how do we actually win? We've got the final.
Oh no! Wait.
Yeah.
There's this small talking scene where they're where they talking about trying to resurrect Superman, and then there's like
Yes.
where the projection of Cyborg, and then like the Man of Steel theme plays for a little bit. I quite like that scene. It's a small
was
scene
so
that's nice.
cool.
Yeah.
The use of Man of Steel theme was really good and really well done.
Yeah.
And compared to the
Good for you.
2016 release, the reasoning of how Superman is brought back to life, like having the mother box reconstruct the molecules within his body, far better explanation, and at least it's not like contrived in comparison.
In the theatrical cut, they have like this little fight where Bruce Wayne tells Diana, "It's like, did Steve Trevor tell you that?"
Yeah, it's just
dumb.
Yeah,
completely.
man. I thought you good for Trevor.
I'm really glad they cut. I'm really glad they cut Batman being a bitch for no reason. Like, just out of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but I think that whole logic was really well done, and it really kind of it lends well to obviously the scene where Superman is actually revived, and then that was really fucking cool because obviously in the original cut it's just like a simple, it's almost like an action sequence in the way it's framed, but in here it's this moment that's very dramatic, and then as Flash is about to run, Cyborg suddenly gets like the most horrifying premonition of like half the league dying, Darkseid taking over everything, and then suddenly he's like, shit, no, what are we doing?
And what I like,
too late, I'm already going. And I'm like, oh,
what I like is
what's gonna happen?
in the theatrical cut, it's just Flash running and he makes it on time. But here he doesn't make it on time, but then he runs too fast that time rewinds, and that sets up the stuff in later. I think that's very
so
well done.
Cool.
Yeah. What was really cool about the premonition that Cyborg had was the moment in Atlantis where Darkseid spears Aquaman, and it's him using his Omega beam.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome.
And then Darkseid putting his hand on Superman's shoulder. Oh.
Yeah, but then again, that shot was kind of ruined because I think they reused Henry Cavill's face from Man of Steel because it looked very edited now. Because
a lot of Henry Cavill is not in this movie as much as I would think he is, which is fine. But I would also have expected him to come back for a couple of reshoots, and he just didn't. And I'm not sure what's going on with him in DC.
I had a feeling.
Originally with the Zack Snyder Justice League, Cavill said that his scenes were already shot years ago with Snyder. So I guess the scenes that we saw from the final version of it was literally everything that he shot years ago.
But what were you saying?
Everything that I saw him with the original cut, especially in the original cut, I really got the feeling that Henry Cavill did not want to really be in this, or it's just his heart wasn't in it. But like a lot of the scenes, like especially in the beginning when he's talking to the kids in the Whedon cut, he just really seems like he is not enjoying his time on the screen.
no, he wants to be in a better movie, which is Mission Impossible 6 Fallout.
Yeah, he wants to keep his mustache.
Let me tell you about Mission Impossible 6. It is fucking awesome.
Go watch Mission Impossible. The review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Go watch Mission Impossible 6.
Link my review to Mission Impossible 6.
So now so now Superman's back, and he's bad.
He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
Oh no! What are we gonna do? Yeah.
What are we gonna do? I just hope it's different. He's cat girl.
Oh no! Yeah, dude. I wish.
This is gonna be so
Zack is a
odd.
cat maid.
This is gonna be so odd for the Spotify listeners.
That's
Right?
true.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's headphones are gonna come out at their desk and they're gonna get fired.
I sure hope Henry Cavill, evil Superman, doesn't pin me down.
Oh, I really hope that Superman doesn't come at me with his big old laser beam eyes and just does something terrible to me. Oh no!
Look, I want to fuck like the entire cast of this movie, so it's like,
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah. So I think, and then so Superman's back. He's evil and he's hot, and he fights the League for a bit. And I love how like they're clearly like stressed out because he's just so much more powerful than all of them, and even together they're really struggling against him.
Yeah.
And then like Batman shows up and he starts slowly walking towards him. And
Yeah,
shit.
they see Batman and they got
all the other characters are like, shit.
yeah. We gotta defend
And, like,
Batman
one of them
because
gets, like,
because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Batman, he's just standing there.
But it was great, like how I loved Batman's performance here, where like he blocks the first heat beam with one gauntlet.
Yeah, I like Superman straight going for it. He's
I really love how
going
your
for it.
cuffs are the gauntlets now. I love how your cuffs are the little Wonder Woman thing that blocks
Yeah.
No, but listen, I really love how Superman's going for it. He's fucking lasering Batman.
Yeah, there was no do you bleed weird slow head squeeze. It was just, yeah, I'm gonna put a hole straight through your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no cringe-worthy comedy like when he's falling off to the floor.
Yeah, something's definitely bleeding.
Mind that line, honestly. In the theatrical cut.
Yeah, but it feels so much like Tony
That shit
Stark.
was fucking cringe-worthy as hell in the 2017 place.
But anyway, I like the balls of Batman in this scene where he's just like, no, I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna take this. I kind of have it coming. And so, yeah, and so he's just like, please, the world needs you, Superman. And Superman's like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking deck you. And then Lois Lane comes in and is like, hey, but remember this? Remember this? You were having this like a few weeks ago. Like, do you remember? And then
You'll
Superman's
never
like,
get this.
kind of do. And then they go away. And then they're gone for like another half of the rest of the movie's runtime. But that scene overall, I thought was really good.
In the theatrical cut, it's Batman saying, "Alfred, it's time for the big gun," and then Alfred brings in Lois Lane instead of she being already there.
Yeah, it was already like a contrived reasoning to have that like a lot more importance in the 2017 release, instead of Lois just being there in the scene because of like certain things that Snyder already shot earlier in the film. So it wasn't as contrived as reading and rewriting the script and having the reasoning of like, oh well, how do we have this and that? Oh, let's have Batman be the reason.
So, in any case, then we get to Silas Stone's death and Steppenwolf getting the final mother box. In
the theatrical cut, he just finds another parking lot and he just, peace, and he gets out. Silas Stone never dies.
Get over with for the 2-hour runtime. Man, did it.
I like that. Theo wasn't a fan of this movie, and he mentioned he thought it was dumb how Silas Stone seemingly sacrificed himself for no reason. I thought it was okay. I thought it was.
He did sacrifice him for some reason.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I don't think it was a bad scene. I think Theo's implication was that there were so many ways that Silas could have gotten out of that alive.
Yeah.
But I kind of like in the moment, it does feel like it's kind of a last minute like Hail Mary, where it's like, shit, well, I'll just heat this up.
But the thing is, it was spoiled in the trailers.
It was.
They literally showed like bits of his death.
But most of this movie is spoiled in the trailers, so
yeah.
Yes. I mean, this movie is mostly spoiled by the 2017
like
release anyway.
we shot years ago. You already knew it from interviews and bits. Fuck it, you already seen it, imagining it. Here's the shit in the trailer. Get excited. Watch this 4 more hours of your life with this.
And so that happens, and I think it's a good scene that shows like just the shit Cyborg's going through. I like the relationship he has with his dad, where he's like, he clearly does not like his dad, and he clearly hates him for the stuff that happened to him, but he also still his dad, and he's like, shit, well, he's still my dad, and he still obviously cares, and I know he cares, and that's a difficult thing for me, and that now he's dead, and what am I gonna do? I thought that was just a really, really good dynamic, and I think Zack Snyder and Ray Fisher really portrayed that with some nuance.
Yeah. A lot better than how in the original release.
Yeah. So then we get to I mean, I guess we can skip a bit. We can kind of get to the climax at this point.
Yeah,
Well,
and then they fight.
well, let's.
And then they fight. No, there's nothing else. Nothing else happens in the movie.
There's the flight. There's the flight sequence where Superman gets the black suit, and it's awesome as hell.
It was really
Oh
cool.
yeah, he's got the black suit.
I loved hearing Jor-El and Jonathan Kent like talking over each other at Superman as he walks through and looks at those suits. Really, really cool moment.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like new lines. They're now like pre-recorded from the previous movies.
Yeah, and then you got Super Jesus, which was important.
Usually I make fun of Snyder and like Super Jesus, but I liked it in this scene.
Yeah,
can't complain.
All it needed was
Super
the
Jesus.
voice
There he
singing
goes.
over it.
Yeah, fair. So then we finally get to the climax. Everyone's battling. Obviously, Steppenwolf realizes the anti-life equation is on Earth, and he's like, "Darkseid, you better come over." And Darkseid's like, "Oh, I'm coming over."
Bring me back to the league. I have the one thing that you wanted for all these years.
Hey, Darkseid, wanna come over? Sorry, but you gotta get 50,000 more worlds. But I got anti-life equation.
The fucking dog guys really showed on that moment.
I thought
The
Darkseid was
Batmobile thing?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay, fair. I mean, look, is there much to say about the action in the climax other than, yeah, it was
That
pretty
shit
cool.
was awesome. That shit was cool.
There's
That
lots
would've
of
been cool the
violence.
entire movie.
Superman
That'd
is
be great.
beating the shit out of
That was lit.
Steppenwolf.
Yes. We're getting fucking bodied. Like,
I
poor
can
guy.
totally see someone making an edit of Superman beating Steppenwolf, and someone will throw in the line "harder, daddy."
Boom! You just did it.
I can totally see someone
Oh my
making that
God.
edit.
I loved how like Steppenwolf was just such this huge bad guy who like everyone was like struggling to beat. Like he was like so difficult to topple. And then Superman comes in and it's like, no, I'm just gonna fucking brutalize.
The only
him. I'm gonna
thing-
cut off
Murk
your
this
blood."
fucking guy.
The only thing that was kind of weird, I totally
Literally God
don't,
mode.
I totally don't know why Superman said not impressed. That's the weirdest thing to say.
He's not impressed by Steppenwolf's and he's like, oh, people keep saying you're better than the 2017 version. Nah, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, that's-
Please press it back.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I think an extra affinity for the Snyder version. Like he just gets to use wailing the motherfucker on
Yeah.
the floor, even when he's like
Yeah.
But
That
like,
was lit.
it's so cool seeing like Superman just freezing his axe and just simply beating. You can totally see the power that Superman has in this scene.
And then obviously you get to the point where it's like they're about to win, but they're just a little bit too late, and the Earth starts to essentially go to shit.
Yeah,
and then-
Barry gets hit, and he gets hit very hard. It's like you can hear the
Yeah.
pain in Ezra Miller's voice.
Sniper got to him.
Yeah. And then
Employee of the
the
year.
whole thing blows up, and then suddenly the Speed Force activates, and
Yeah.
and he reverses time.
And
That's
that's
so cool.
yes, and
That was
the
cool.
the soundtrack was just so it really helped. The only thing that's just it's not a big thing that I hate, but it's like it's just this tiny thing is where he's talking to himself. I think the scene would have worked a little bit better if he just
Yeah.
like didn't say
Just did
anything
it.
at all. He just did it. He's just fucking awesome.
I really liked the line where he said it's all right now, though. I thought that was a really good line.
Yeah.
I did.
And then
I did appreciate.
yeah.
I really appreciated the visual effects of when
Yes.
things were starting to reverse, seeing Superman's body reform. Just
Yeah,
since
that
it was
was a
disintegrated, that was a
really-
very
Yeah.
nice looking effect.
And then he
Yeah,
touches then he touches Victor, a cyborg, and then you go in his inner body, and then he has this confrontation, and then his mother calls him a broken boy, and then he knows he's not broken anymore because
I love that.
because he doesn't have broken tattooed on his forehead.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's how you know. I loved that scene. I think it paints this really cool transhumanist picture of Cyborg as someone who, you know, like, because he's in a body that he's not comfortable with, and you can tell he's uncomfortable with himself for the whole movie. And then this is the first step towards him feeling in his own skin again, and that was a really good moment.
Yeah.
I really liked it. And then obviously, plot-wise, it does a lot as well, which is always good. You want plot to coincide with character. And so they save the world. Superman splits it up, and then fucking the poor Steppenwolf, who like spends the first half of the movie as a berserker, then the second half of the movie getting fucking bodied.
Yeah, and then
You know,
like his head gets first Aquaman stabs him through the chest,
That
which is
fucking-
awesome.
oh my God.
Blood is dripping, and then he gets punched out by Superman, and then Wonder Woman chops off his head. Some Mongolian throat singing happens. Darkseid steps on his fucking head.
There's a great moment where I love how like the only interaction Darkseid has with the League is like he's just looking at them through this boom tube, and the others are looking back like, yeah, you want to try this? And Darkseid's like, you know what? kind of do. I kind of do want to try this.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
I kind of like the shot where it's going up his leg and then to his face. And then the portal closes and you see the anger on his face. That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's just like...
Ready to Armada.
We'll do it old style.
Yeah,
we will
he's ready for it. And I'm actually ready for a sequel. I think Snyder might fuck it up, but I'm here for it.
I just appreciate this ending a lot more than the original, where Steppenwolf just gets so intimidated by Superman's big dick energy that his own parademon beat the shit out of him and then fly away with him to wherever the fuck. Like, it didn't feel like anybody actually beat him.
I like how we actually got to see Darkseid in this, instead of being cock-teased in the theatrical version.
Yeah, and I think Darkseid was really well done, and I'm excited to see him in, well, possibly nothing. But, I mean, honestly, I know people keep saying, oh, there's no way they're going to make another one. There was no way they were going to make the Snyder Cut, and yet here we are. I have a feeling this breaks records. This feels like they want to make more.
So what is something that you guys want to see in the second one, if Snyder has a chance?
Batman come.
Batman come?
Oh, so...
Wait, what?
You don't know?
They come in the back.
No, listen. Listen.
Yeah,
Snyder had plans for a sequel where Lois Lane and Batman had an affair, and then
that's not right. That's not right. So Lois Lane and Batman originally were going to hook up in Justice League. So it wasn't an affair. Superman was dead. So that can't happen. It's not going to have any cheating subplot.
Yeah.
Like a brother situation.
Yeah. So like the idea is that Lois Lane and Batman were both reeling over the loss of Superman, and they kind of like get it on a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So there's no like affair, so they'll probably do it differently if there is a sequel. But Lois Lane gets pregnant essentially, and that's a big thing.
Whoa!
And then Superman. It's like that son will become the new Batman because Batman was gonna sacrifice himself at the third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, they're like he's the sacrifice of a hero.
What?
Yeah. It's a whole thing. It's this whole thing. Let's not. It's gonna be a lot different.
It's gonna be different.
It's gonna be a lot different if they make a sequel. What I want, and this goes well into one of the concluding scenes, is that there is a tease for Ben Affleck's Batman movie that was never made, but I think could fit pretty easily into the second Justice League, which is Deathstroke hunting down Batman and Lex Luthor giving him his name.
To be honest, I actually liked that. I didn't like Jesse Eisenberg in Batman vs Superman, but I liked him in this. You know, the kind of flashy lines he had in here. Him saying that Batman is Bruce Wayne is just kind of awesome, and like.
So I would like to see that.
Oh, Deathstroke is in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool scene. I like that scene.
Deathstroke looks awesome.
And then we get a tease for essentially a bigger tease for the second and third movie, where we cut to the nightmare sequence again, and we get Deathstroke, Mirror, Cyborg, Flash, Superman,
and Joker.
Batman.
And no society line.
Also, great thing, great stuff. Hold on, just wanted to point this out because I didn't know this. That they shot that scene in Snyder's backyard. I had no idea.
Yeah.
They did, yeah. He literally, like, during the pandemic, he was like, yo, Ben Affleck, Jared Leto, come to my backyard. We're gonna shoot that whole 1v1 conversation that they have was shot in his backyard. That's why the fucking goddamn scene is out of focus, because it's actually Snyder holding the camera he deadass is on the camera filming the scene by himself. I didn't know that. My boyfriend told me that. That was crazy.
The commission for the Snyder version of Justice League, which feels very tacked on.
That's why fucking Joker has the fucking CGI card, because it is terribly CGI'd on his hand, and it's fucking
magic trick.
Yeah, and because they were just like, all right, just come to my backyard, we'll film this shit real quick.
I like this version we're seeing of Batman and Joker, but it doesn't really fit in this movie. It doesn't have no place really. The whole epilogue actually essentially feels like
it's set up for the next ones. That's why.
Essentially, the whole epilogue feels like a clip show.
Yeah,
He
it
did
was very
flip
strange.
show of like ideas of sequels that he wanted to do, and then maybe in some slight hope, like just like with this version of Justice League that he finally got made, to maybe convince the higher ups of WB, like, hey, maybe give me a little bit more money. I can convince Affleck to do Batman again, and we can do like another series of Justice League films for HBO Max. Here's this, and the fans are clamoring for it online. Joker, Batman, saying fuck to each other.
Also, one advantage Snyder has, he already has these things planned out, and it's already revealed what's planned out. And if they're eventually going to make it, Snyder has the advantage of reading people's online comment and maybe thinking, okay, I could maybe change that.
If he ever does,
If he does,
I
yeah.
know, Zack Snyder, he'll read shit, be like, cool, and then just do whatever.
We should start a hashtag, Zack Snyder, please read our responses.
Read the response.
We're gonna buy billboards at Times Square. We're gonna buy billboards at the parking lot of Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
To me, Zack
Read our
Snyder
comment. And like the first comment is, I want
If-
Joker
it-
to
no,
have
if-
a
if you
fucking
read
maid
this-
outfit and get fucked by Batman.
No, listen. The comment is if you read this, you're gay.
Yeah. If you read this, you're gay.
That's what
To
should
me,
have been
it's
on the
like-
Joker's card.
Yes, that's a good point.
Joker pulls out an Uno reverse card.
It seems to me though that like he just put the post-credit scenes before the credits, which whatever. It doesn't fit with the rest of the movie, but I mean like what so like if they were post-credit scenes, I think it would have flowed a little better.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And then Batman swears. He swears that he will fucking kill Joker.
He will fuck.
He will fuck.
And then finally the other Martian Manhunter scene, which was also very tacked on. You can say
Very
Bruce looks
strange.
like he's going back to bed. Like he's looking at Martian Manhunter. He's like, "Yeah, can we wrap this up? It's like 6 a.m." I was supposed to be
But Ben Affleck looks happy. It's shot in the period where he was still dating Ana de Armas.
Yeah, he was happy. He looked alive. His jawline was great. He didn't look like he wanted to kill himself. It was amazing.
Get color in his skin.
They didn't have to help. They didn't have to.
That's what fucking Hispanic pussy does to a motherfucker.
They didn't have to hold a bottle of Jack Daniels behind the camera to make him happy.
Oh god.
Jingling keys for a baby.
I just think he's doing well at the moment. He's been through a lot.
Yeah,
Ben
he's doing
Affleck.
great.
Ben Affleck, if you're listening to us,
Please come on the podcast.
Ben Affleck just
We're
listening.
going to talk about all your Kevin Smith films.
yo, yeah, actually, dude, we should talk about Chasing Amy. That fucking movie rocks. Anyway,
Chasing Adams.
Chasing Amy Adams.
Chasing the
So,
redhead pussy.
Movie.
We finally watched all of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and after having seen it once, seen it twice, thrown up, I think now we're at a good point where we can reach a verdict, right? Do we have closing thoughts?
I liked it. I had some good times. I had some bad times during this film. There is some stuff that could be cut down. There's some stuff that I'm not a big fan of the color grading in this film, and the 4:3 it's doable, but like there's not really a reason of using the 4:3 to be honest. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it. Yeah, it's so much. I liked it. I like it more than Man of Steel and BVS. It's a big surprise.
You know, Man of Steel being the best one.
Maybe it will age a bit, but I mean, for now, I like it. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I kind of have that same opinion as you do. Like, I was so ready to hate on this version of Justice League, like how I did with Batman and Superman, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was a great time sink for 4 hours. Saw it twice when it came out, and then through the watch party from the Discord server. And yeah, it was like a solid, like, 3.5 out of 5, 7 out of 10 kind of film. I definitely like it a lot more than Man of Steel, and especially Batman v Superman. And it is one of the better DC films that he's directed, next to the director's cut of Watchmen. Would I see it again? Yeah, on a bigger screen. Definitely see it in a 4K compatible device. But I don't know if I would see it a lot or all the time. I don't like all the other DC films like Richard Donner's Superman or Tim Burton's Batman, for instance. But I had a pretty good time with it. It may age poorly in some instances
Yeah.
later on, but right now, it's a pretty good time.
Also,
I didn't hate it. It's good.
I would like to say some of my favorite DCEU sequences are in this film.
Yeah, especially the Flash moment in the third act.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, who next?
I think the film elevated from sucking balls to being decent, which is, the bar was set pretty low, but it made Flash an actual character. It made Cyborg an actual character. It made Steppenwolf an actual character. Batman isn't comedic relief anymore. Superman still isn't in the movie, basically, except to show up and kick some guy's ass. Overall, I enjoyed the movie. I agree with Joseph. I think it would look a lot better on a big screen, something 4K. As far as aging, I don't think this will be remembered as one of the best superhero movies, especially if the upcoming Pattinson Batman flick outshines this Batfleck. But overall, I'd say 7.5 out of 10. Was not disappointed.
Sabrina?
Okay, well, as someone watching it through the lens as a second date, going to watch a movie because you just want to fuck the guy and this is the movie he picks, I think that it's... I haven't seen any of these other fucking movies, and I was just going in blind because I thought that it would have a better perspective since it is its own movie within itself. I think it's a movie. Things happened in it, that's for sure. I think there is a lot of cringe in it, but it's not as bad as everyone said it was going to be. But this movie is too fucking long and should not be that long. It definitely should be at least a 2.5-hour movie at the most. At the most. I think there was a what?
I think the maximum time it can reach is 3 hours.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Simply not.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Ruben, you're gonna link your fucking cut
Fan
and
edit. Yeah.
The Ruben cut is gonna be released over the weekend, so that's fine. But this
Over
movie
the
is definitely a
weekend. My
2-hour
weekend
half.
edits in 4 hours.
It's happening right. Well, I'm saying next, whenever you have a chance. I think this movie is a movie. In the range of superhero movies, it is something that should have just been not taken seriously. But given the fact that it's Snyder, I guess he took it seriously. And that's fine, I guess. But if you're gonna take it seriously, at least commit to it. I don't know. I don't see any point in any of it. And would I watch it again? I don't know. I would have it as background noise again. Would I watch? Now you guys make me want to watch the Whedon cut because now I want to know if it's really bad. Is it really that bad? If it's really that bad, that's a movie I'd rather watch. That's the movie that I want. Is a really bad movie. I don't care if it's like a decently sized. Anyway, my verdict of this movie as someone who's just watched these movies randomly and just came here randomly on a good day because I was supposed to be off today. I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Until that mad lad Taylor Stenhouse refused to watch this film.
The son of a bitch.
An act of protest.
I would give it a 4 out of 10. I guess it's okay. It's a movie. 4.5.
Okay.
It's a movie. It's a movie. You can't say it's not. And I appreciate the fact that he did it. That's it.
No, fair enough. I really liked it a lot. I mean, like, as someone who loved Man of Steel when it came out, felt kind of cathartic to be like, oh, okay, so this actually was going somewhere. This is good. Like, it was nice to know that. The stuff like, okay, look, movie's way too fucking long, and yeah, the 4:3 aspect ratio isn't necessary. But here's the thing: when the fans are like, oh, release your full vision, where it's like all of the footage, all of the frame, and all the stuff like that, you might as well just be like, fuck it. Here's all of the frame, and here's the 4 hours that I was gonna make before cutting it down. At that point, at least you're like, you know what? Like, this is what you wanted. We might as well not cut it because then people are gonna bitch about, oh, you cut it down. It's like, yeah, here's the whole thing. Here's Aquaman's shirt getting sniffed while they sing a weird Midsummer Carol. I hope you enjoy it, and you know what? I kind of did because it's a very genuine, authentic movie. It's not. I mean, in as much as a superhero movie can be. And I honestly think I've seen the Avengers movie again. That hasn't aged well at all. I don't like Age of Ultron. I like Infinity War. I'm okay on Endgame. So in terms of team-up superhero movies, this is kind of up there. I really think it's better than half the Avengers movies at least.
Damn.
I
don't like it
do.
more than Endgame. I
I
don't like it more than Infinity War, but Infinity War is amazing. On a
if I would
standpoint,
rank,
so.
if I would rank the Avengers movies and Justice League, I think it would be the first Avengers movie on top. I still love that film. Then it would be followed by Infinity War. Then it would be Justice League. Then it would be Endgame, and then it would be Age of Ultron because Age of Ultron stinks.
That's a fair list. I think with Justice League, I think there's a lot to like about it. As someone who is predominantly a DC fan, it's really good seeing like that shit come together like that, where it actually had like it was a decent team up movie for the league, and more than it just being like satisfactory, it did stuff that I didn't really expect and didn't think would actually happen. I mean, there's 35 DC characters in this movie, which is one way too
Hercules
much,
is in
sure.
this fucking movie.
Yeah. Oh, but like, I think that was Zeus.
Yeah, and Ares as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was so like there's, and it does too much, sure, but like at a certain point, I'm like, this is all of this stuff is stuff that I've wanted to see, and if we're not gonna get another one, which we might not, we might as well cram it all in. And there's something that just tries to put as much as it into the movie as possible. I am pleasantly surprised by how much good stuff. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
I do like that's really the full thing. It's like a painter like smashing paint all over the fucking room. Here's the canvas and here's the wall with some other fucking paint that split over it. You know. Yeah.
If you're gonna
Show it all.
that full vision, make it. Show it all. Yeah. So I'm happy that he did.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good for.
However, yes, it could have been shorter.
Like, the chance.
It could have been 2 hours. It could have been like a 2.5 hour movie.
It's a little bit of overindulgence, but just for what happened, just give him what he wanted, and basically people are now saying that this was pretty good. Love it.
Did you already say your score, Nicholas?
I give it an 8.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Anyone have anything more to say? Or
Keep
Making
your eyes
superhero movies. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't mean that. I think that's a very privileged part of our society now, and I feel like that is the as the modern consumer has nothing else to indulge in. I feel like this is the only thing that we have for the rest of our lives.
This is
So
all we have to
let's-
look
It's like Coca-Cola
let's do
Zero
it.
on screen.
it's funny when Taylor
I'm
made
fine.
the promise to the Kinoplex to watch this movie, and make no mistake, he will watch this fucking movie. He has to.
we're gonna force him to. We're gonna fucking sit him down and strap him in like it's fucking Clockwork Orange.
We're gonna pick him up at the airport.
We're gonna
I
pick him.
already-
Yo, he's closer to me now. I'm gonna fucking go get him.
I already got him to watch. I already got him to watch Phone Booth, so this is just next on the list.
Yeah, phone booth. is
Watch
badass.
Phone Booth.
Yeah, you know
No,
what?
say that
Here's
there's
the
a
verdict.
secret second Phone Booth movie. Drop in a Google file, and then it's just this film.
Perfect.
Love it. And then tie him down so he has to watch. I think here's my final thoughts. Falcon Winter Soldier was boring as hell. I fell asleep. It's just so dull. So uninteresting. There was someone tried to make a comment like my friend Andy, who is great, he's awesome, genuinely love Andy. But he said Falcon Winter Soldier had more like depth and heart than all of the Snyder cut. Go
Wait,
to hell.
which
Maybe
Andy?
It'll get better later.
Which
Andy
Andy?
Carr.
Ah, that one. Yeah. I,
On the show.
That's
Andy-
a little bit too good. That's-
I asked him multiple times to be on this show. I already asked him.
Andy's great. I would love him on the podcast.
He is great.
I think
he,
he would,
yeah.
really good.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
He would make a good member.
Except he's so wrong about Falcon Winter Soldier. It's so dull. That's my final thoughts.
All right. Well, you heard it, guys. Snyder cut is divisive. True Snyder film. It's mostly leaning positive, but okay. Next week we'll be back with Godzilla King of the Monsters and the original Godzilla vs. King Kong movie. And the week after that we're going to talk about the big fucking movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. Monkey's gonna win. Fuck you.
Monkey, 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 monkey.
time you'll see me in a cat-made outfit, so enjoy it. I don't know if I'm gonna put this back on again. At least in public.
Do you wanna meow real quick for the audience? Do you wanna do a little meow?
Yeah, fine.
Alright,
Send off.
guys, okay, on one. You two, yeah, on one. 3,
Okay, ready?
2, 1.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on the audio. I didn't hear it.
I said it.
You have to believe me. I said it.
Surely you heard.
Nicholas is going to ADR that meow over it for the editing process.
I'd rather die. I'm
No.
Alright, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week.
Alright.